What is going on, fellas? And welcome back to the Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today is potentially the final game in charge of Man City. If we win the Champions League final, the series will end. We just have to get past Bayern Munich, who did end up beating Arsenal in their semi-final, relatively comfortable. I think it was a 5-2. I think it was 5-2. But they're the team we're facing. They are the only ones that stand in our way from us winning our first Champions League of FM22 and our first in the series, because that's how the series works. So if you do enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Right, fellas, so since you were here last in the game against Roma, we went and played two more games. A 2-0 win over Manchester United. Karim Adeyemi scoring early on, and Philippe Simon scoring a second, just to put the cherry atop the cake. As you can see, Pateri didn't have a great game. We're not going to worry about it. And then against Leeds, 5-0. It was a very easy game, I want to say. Alvarez scored an absolute peach of a goal from just inside the area. Absolutely drilled it into the bottom right-hand corner. Valverde did unfortunately miss a penalty, which was quite annoying. But they did have Max Norman Williamson, one of their centre-backs, sent off for, I think it was the second yellow. He handled the ball to get the penalty, got booked, and then essentially just bundled, I think it was Moukoko over. So yeah, quite a comfortable victory. There's a guy who plays for Leeds who used to play for us, was Emmett Gallagher, I think, as a centre back who I'd never really gave too much of an opportunity to. He didn't have a great game, which is exactly what you want. So we ended up winning the league fairly comfortably. 33 wins, just the 3 defeats, which is still frustrating. Only 2 draws, so we did generally just win all the games. Moukoko ended with 39 league goals from 33 appearances, so his best ever season for goals to appearances ratio. So I have brought out the best in Moukoko. 101 points, can't really complain about that. Arsenal finishing second with 94. Newcastle almost made it to the Champions League, but as you can see, Everton survived relegation on the final day because Bristol City lost, I think it was Arsenal. Arsenal beat Bristol City 5-2 on the final day. Spurs did beat Everton to make them worry a little bit more, but Leicester did end up beating West Brom, because I think West Brom had a player sent off, which is, that's got to be frustrating. But if you look at the Europa League, Borussia Dortmund beat Newcastle, so that is 5 German teams in the Champions League for next season, and Leicester won the Europa Conference League against Bordeaux, who entered 10th in the French League. So I don't think any major team has won. Everton have won it twice, yeah. So no big team. Hertha Berlin, Lazio, Roma. Not massive teams have won it, but the Europa League has been a bit more topsy-turvy since the start of the save, like Valencia, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, AC Milan. Some interest, and Arsenal as well. As you've seen, they've turned into a bit of a somewhat dominant force in England, apart from the fact that we've come back in and we won the league again this year at a canter. So we're taking on Bayern Munich today. In the Champions League final, as I said, they want me to play Adeyemi, which would be his final appearance, but he's not going to start today. He's going to be on the bench. Speaking of players that are going to be starting, Falcao is going to be in goal, as you'd expect. I think this will be like his 57th appearance, 60th game for Man City this season. Porro, Omobamidele, Diaz and Alvarez as our back 4. Valverde and Bellingham in central midfield. Christian Douglas, Delaney, Simon behind Moukoko. We do have some interest in our players. Christian Douglas is wanted by Bayern Munich, AC Milan and Napoli. Niall Delaney is wanted by Juventus. Marvin Gerrard has picked up interest from Atletico Madrid. There was someone else that had interest in one of our players, but it seems as though that is no longer the case. So I'm going with the team that I think is probably most in form. It's probably the strongest team we have. Dylan Pintos is fit enough to be on the bench. Hasn't started in hasn't played a game in about 2 months, I think. So not ideal for him. I think the only player I'd really look at and think that maybe they could be starting is Hector Lopez. I think Ruben Diaz's form has just been a little bit better recently. Hector Lopez is probably the normal first choice. We are starting Porro in this game over Batari, but there is potential for changes to be made because there is 12 substitutes, but only 3 can be made. They're playing Vlahovic. Vital Grosjean isn't starting this game. It's interesting. He's a pretty good player. I think he's Van Van's on the bench. That's interesting. He was one of the top 10 next gen players. They did pay a small fortune for him, but then never really gave him an opportunity, which I'm somewhat surprised by. We're going to just make a couple of tweaks here. Just press these the centre backs and the goalkeeper just to keep them on their toes. And Bayern Munich have still some real players in their team. I don't think we've too many. Actually, I know we have a few. We are only 9 years in the future. This is generally the time I win the Champions League. So start off with nothing. 9 years later, win the Champions League. I did it with Ghent in FM 20. I want to say 20. Yeah, FM 20. I won the Champions League with Ghent, having started with nothing. Which was, we won the Europa League. I remember we won the Europa League, and I remember saying in the video that I was done if a good club came in for us. No club came in for us, and we won the Champions League. So it was probably a good thing that, I didn't leave. We did start that series managing, was it 3 games in Iceland before we got sacked because they got relegated. Speaking of the games, Simon has somehow won a penalty. Someone was shoved, but he was behind. I'm not sure how. Okay, Pedro Porro steps up to take the penalty, smashes it into the back of the net. This is Portugal's number 1 goalkeeper versus Portugal's future number 1 goalkeeper. Diogo Costa is starting, is the main goalkeeper for Portugal. Falcao is their backup goalkeeper, but he has played a couple of games recently. But he's going to be playing in the under 20 World Cup or something. No, he can't be because there's the under 20 World Cup's already started. He must be playing an under 21 tournament this summer. But Simon picks up the ball again, gets across Christian Douglas, dinks it over, and Valverde heads just over. Christian Douglas has started the game poorly. Simon also had, but he won a penalty, so that has helped his rating tenfold probably. Because he wasn't playing fantastically well as it was, but one good thing makes a massive difference. The biggest issue we have is always at left back. For some reason, neither of our left backs, or none of our left backs, ever play all that well. Marvin Gerrard struggled for our first season in charge the entire time. Okay, so the game is going to go to the half time. Not much happening. We've had 9 shots, 2 on target. We've had a 1.99 XG out of 10 shots. Bayern have had 3 shots, 1 on target, and 0.27. We probably shouldn't look too much into XG because we did have a penalty. But our players aren't having a fantastic time of it. I'm going to put Makoko, actually be a pressing forward. Makoko's going to be a pressing forward. So he's not playing great. Alvarez can just keep doing Alvarez things. We have Pintos and Gerrard on the bench. If needs be, Rob Loughlin, poor man, just sat on the bench for every Champions League game since the January transfer window. So since we finished the group stage, he's been on the bench because we forgot. I never registered a second goalkeeper, which, that's fine. Oh, Bayern Munich are down to 10. The defender telling the referee that our player took a dive. I know Bayern Munich have an awful lot to come back from. Philip Simon thought he was going to try and even the odds and get booked as well. But Philip Simon, Valverde is booked as well. Ruben Diaz, beautiful header away, finds Moukoko. Delaney to Moukoko, sends it forward to Valverde, whips it across. Simon just puts it the wrong side of the post. And the game is just doing its thing. Everything's going fine. Pedro Porro gets it to Delaney. Christian Douglas cuts inside. Oh, Christian Douglas. It's like Mo Salah except Brazilian. I don't want to say it too loud. I think the series is over. I might continue it in the background. Not as Man City manager, because I want to see what I can do with Ireland. And I'm kind of interested in taking the Spurs job if it comes up. If they sack off whoever's in charge of Tottenham. I don't know. I haven't looked to see if they've sacked their manager. But I'd like to see if I can get Spurs back to the Premier League. I honestly don't think it'll be that difficult of a job. What the player I was thinking of, actually, there is one of our Irish centre-back, Nathan Collins, joined Spurs last season. Oh, Christian Douglas just keeps it in. Alphonso Davies is getting sent off now. This is... it's not gone fantastically well for Bayern Munich at all now, has it? We're going to make a change. Moukoko is going to come off for a Castiel. But yeah, I think Nathan Collins is wanted by Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, and someone else. So I suppose you could say pretty decent players, or pretty decent clubs. Moukoko is going to come off for Castiel. Pintos is going to come on for Alvarez. And I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to win this. Just want to see who I'm going to make my final change for. I think we bring Adeyemi on to make his final appearance for Simon. Booked. And I don't really feel like getting him letting him get sent off. Although I don't think he would. I think we've only had 4 red cards this season. But before this match, I think it was 103 yellow cards. We're just going to go a bit more attacking. Might as well. We're up against 9. I think it's safe to say they're not coming back from this. Pedro Porro cuts inside. Tries to make it 3. Alas, 'twas not to be. So that is the end of the game. We are 2-0 victors against Bayern Munich. Karim Adeyemi wins a Champions League just before he leaves for Barcelona. But we've only gone and done it, fellers. We've won the Champions League with Man City. I was kind of weary that I was going to be all like, this is going to be grand. We're going to win the Champions League and then lose. But thankfully, that was not the case. And Ruben Diaz gets to lift the trophy. It's fantastic. We have won the Champions League. And Rob Loughlin standing in the corner going, I didn't play a single minute of football, but get in. Who's going to do our 4? Is that Omobamidele? I think that's Omobamidele. But we've won the Champions League. Well done, lads. You deserved it. 4 was Omobamidele. I would love to see if someone could get injured doing that. But at the same time, I really would be pissed because he is the best centre-back for Ireland and we're about to play 3 games as Ireland. So I wouldn't like my best centre-back to have to miss those because he fell over celebrating. But we have managed to win a fantastic, famous treble: Champions League, Premier League, and the one that everyone wants to win, the Carabao Cup. We've gotten 17.1 million for winning the Champions League. Interestingly, we got 38 million for winning the Premier League, And then we paid 36 million to our players. So we ended up winning the league and got 2 million. So medals have been handed out. Who played the least amount of football to get a medal? Technically, Ravella, Carlos Vitor also got a medal, where he's off playing in Germany for Stuttgart. And Aldo Santos got one. Who played the most? Falcao, 13 appearances. I think it's fair to say he was probably the most important player. Castiel played 12 times off the bench. Yeah. Adiemi didn't do too bad for himself. 7 appearances, 4 goals. Castiel scored 5 from 1 start. We are... Actually, one thing I forgot to mention is we are actually... Where am I? Have I moved? No, favoured personnel. We are a favoured personnel. Potentially, after winning the first Champions League for the club, we could actually get moved up to be like an icon. But we have gotten 7 million, and then we got 27.5 million, paid 50 million. Oh, we spent so much money to win this. PSG, first knockout round. Ooh. We've also paid a bunch of money to players for winning the Champions League, which is fantastic. You know, that's what you want. Finances, yeah, not great. Not great at all. We have spent so much money on bonuses. 86 million on bonuses. Wow. Is there anything else that's insane? Not really. But we did get 93 million in prize money. But that means nothing when we spend almost all of it on bonuses. So yeah, that is the end of our time in charge of Man City. We're going to do the end of season review just to see what everything looks like, see what everyone thinks. So we'll be back in just a second for that. But fantastic work for us. Delighted. Champions League winners! Whoa! Right, fellas, back now for the end of season review. We did have to have a conversation with one of our players who came back on from a loan. I think it was at Hibs. Was it Hibs? I think it was Hibs. And he complained that he wasn't getting enough first team football with us. The dude was out on loan. I don't know, and now he's transfer listed by his own request. So Football Manager does. Sometimes I get confused. I don't understand sometimes. But we're doing the end of season review. Signing of the season is nobody. Nobody got signing of the season. Okay. I think Hector Lopez probably would disagree. 20-year-old wonder kid, 36 appearances, played a 7.46. I think he was pretty decent. Bateri did quite well. Delaney did fantastically well. Alvarez had a great second half of the season when he joined. Falcao played 60 games. I think it's fair to say that the majority of the players we brought in were pretty good. Even if they didn't get a massive amount of first team appearances, I think. Yeah, Guillermin, probably the only player I'd say, one of the players I'd say, it was a bit of a waste of money. Disappointed with the deal, mainly down to giving a player a wage that is too high for his place in the squad. How much is he getting paid? 49,000. That's a lot of money for a guy who played 3 games. They did expect us to win the league, which is what we did. 100% average home attendance. They wanted us to reach the final of the Champions League. We won it. FA Cup there, very disappointed. We got beaten by Stoke. And then Carabao Cup wasn't important, but we won it. So that is all that matters. Biggest win was 8-1 against West Brom. Match to remember was against Aston Villa, where we won 7-0. And the goal of the season went to Castiel. That absolute beauty of a goal that you will have seen in the last episode. Finances, sponsorship money hasn't come through yet, so it's down just 100 million. Broadcast revenue is down a small bit, but we haven't gotten all our broadcast revenue yet, I don't think. Corporate and hospitality is up. Competition prize money has rocketed, and our match day commercial has gone up just a smidge. Shirt sales, Bellingham is the highest shirt seller. Adiemi in second. Won't be for much longer because he's leaving soon. Mokoko, Christian Douglas and Simon. It is essentially just our attacking players. Is there anyone in our 11 here that I'd say shouldn't be in there? No, I think that's, all things being equal, that's probably the first 11 I would play. It's funny that Niall Delaney was just a random purchase that came in, and I just forced him to play because Ireland manager. I wanted him in my team. So we did win Premier League Manager of the Year, which is delightful. 4 times we won the Manager of the Month. Fantastic. Philip Simon won Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. Makoko, 53 goals. Didn't score in the Champions League final, but that's fine. Christian Douglas with 23 assists. Most of those were from Philip Simon's facial region. Most player matches went to Makoko with 16. Highest average rating was Philippe Simon with a 7.8. Had a pretty decent season, all things considered. Most goals in a season went to Makoko. Most league goals in a season went to Makoko. Most assists in a season, and most player of the matches. So we really smashed all the records this season. We were fantastic. The Champions League defender of the season was Ruben Dias. Irish player of the year was Omobamidele, as you would expect. Ballon d'Or went to Makoko. FIFA's men's player went to Makoko. World Soccer Magazine player of the year. Dutch German player of the year. Football Writers player of the year. PFA player of the year. Premier League Golden Boot. UEFA Champions League Golden Boot. The UEFA Champions League forward of the season all went to Makoko. European Golden Boy went to Christian Douglas. PFA Young Player of the Year went to Christian Douglas. Champions League Goalkeeper Player of the Year went to Falcao. And Irish Young Player of the Year and the UEFA Champions League Midfielder of the season went to Delaney. That's pretty good. A truly impressive season, as you would expect. This is the guy that was complaining about his lack of first team football. He was on loan at Hibs. Came back the day of the Champions League final. What do you expect me to do? Hibs finished, I think it was the third. Yeah, third. Motherwell had one of our players on loan, and they finished 6th. So, it's fine. It's whatever. Every club offered 10.5 million for him. Fantastic. Well, that's what the director of football set his value at. So I'm surprised. Clearly he is a wanted man. Borussia Dortmund want him. Norwich also getting promoted this season, so they obviously want a bang average midfielder to keep them in the league. Porro sets a new average rating record for the Champions League with an 8.03. Best 11. Any of our new players coming? I can't imagine they would. Falcao is on the bench, but Omobamidele, Alexander Isak, Grealish is officially retired now, and Adeyemi. We won that. Don't care about where they now. Vision. They've changed quite an amount of things. Did they complain that we didn't get the most reputable youth system in the world? Or in the country? I can't remember which it was. But yeah, developed the best youth system in the country. I'm not able to upgrade it, so not much I can really do about that, but we're going to accept that vision because we're not going to be here for it. Squad update. Players more or less love me, which is delightful. Saying that Blas is better than Valverde. Pintos is better, our best left back. I'm not so sure. I don't know, do I agree? Who missed the most? Luke Wright. Who is Luke Wright? Guy on loan at Fleetwood. Not played too many games. Yeah. Preseason date. We give him a 6-week pre-season. Why not? Where are we going to? We go to Leinster. Why would we go to Leinster? We went to China last year. We go to Singapore. Because why not? Juventus trying to sign Delaney for 49.5 million. His value is 65 to 86. I feel like that's a bit on the low side. Dean Henderson got second. Omobamidele was third. Jude Bellingham and Christian Douglas second and third in the Champions League players of the season for their position. So interesting. I'm curious. did Tottenham sack their manager? No. No. Okay, so they're obviously going to keep him on, see how he gets on, even though they got relegated. Just saying, they did win their last game of the season. So, like I said, we do have a continuation of Ireland, but I'm not going to bring you back for that unless we make it to the Euros, and then I'll bring you back for that. But I'm going to say goodbye to the lads, and then I'll be done. Slaven Bilic is the Latvian manager. Okay, fair enough. But that is the end of the Man City part of the journey. If you have enjoyed this series, stick around for the next one. Probably going to do some experiments as well. I did kind of fall off a little bit and didn't upload as many videos as I would have liked in the recent months, I suppose, since we started the series. But with all that being said, if you have enjoyed this episode, if you've enjoyed the series, make sure to like and subscribe. It would make a massive difference to me. It would make me super duper happy. Thank you very much for watching, fellas. It's been a journey. FoggyPlays has ended the Journeyman, and I'll catch you for the next one.